What is going on? Welcome back to another episode where we do a whole bunch of different things and tell you about things that have to do with wheels. As you start out your journey looking to buy a set of wheels, often there's some mistakes that you make along the way, and usually you only find out these mistakes after you've already made them. So we're going to talk about a few of the common mistakes that are made when you buy wheels and how you can avoid making them. I'm Scott from Konig. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of We Talk About Wheel Stuff and You Listen. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and give us a subscribe down below. We really appreciate it, and we kind of get a little giggle watching the numbers go up. So when we first start talking about wheels and how you pick your first set of wheels, one of the most commonly overlooked mistakes that people make is that they don't really decide what they want. Before you ever choose a wheel, look around. Your vehicle has been put on the internet 8,000 times. I promise you it has. And when you are able to look at pictures of other wheels, when you're able to look at pictures of other fitments and sizes, you will be able to kind of find out exactly what your preference is. Know your preference before you start out trying to buy a set of wheels. Plenty of people will buy a set of wheels, put them on their car, think that they upgraded, and not be happy with their purchase. Better yet, most of those people will try to not admit to themselves that they made a mistake, and they'll convince themselves that they really do like it. Find your flavor, make your car one-off, make it something that you love. But know what size you want, know what fitment you want, and know what style really will look good on your car. So one of the other points that people seem to often overlook is getting the correct specs. Now, there's two parts of getting the correct specs. The first part is that you have to pick the part of the specs that work on your car. You have to have the right specs. You can't just choose anything. The second part of it is you need to know what preference you have for fitment. And that kind of piggybacks on the first point we just talked on, but here's the thing. You need to know what look you're going for, aggressive, stance, hella flush, whatever you want to call it, how that wheel is going to sit on the car and how that wheel and tire selection is going to fill out your wheel well. Know that before you make a selection on wheels. It makes a big difference, and it also can determine what wheels are available for you to buy. So as we swing into our next point here, we just talked about how you need to consider what fitment, but after you do that and before you buy your wheels, you need to think about the thing that is often overlooked, and that is the brake caliper. See, brake calipers, they can make or break a wheel fitment, and that's something that people don't often think about until they go to bolt their wheel and tire on the car and realize that there's some fitment issue, that it hits or it crashes. Whenever we talk about wheels with lips, when we talk about concave movements, it's not just about the size and the offset. Be very, very clear that just because your car should take a given width, a given diameter, and a given offset, just because you nail those three things doesn't guarantee fitment.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
If you have a big brake kit on the car, if your car comes with a rather large brake, or if you plan on upgrading in the future, or any of those things, consider the brake as part of the fitment and know what you're buying before you get it. If you're buying one of our wheels and you have a big brake kit or a car, or you want to check fit, or the retailer can't help you, whatever those circumstances may be, you can email us at fitment@konigwheels.com. We'll be happy to go through the wheels that you're choosing or looking to buy, make sure it fits your car, make sure it fits your brake package, so that you don't have to deal with that issue when you already have paid for everything and now it won't bolt on the car. We get a tremendous amount of wheel questions. I don't think that that's any shock to anybody, but one of the questions we get most when it's related to installation is a mistake that's made when you buy your wheels, and that is not getting the right installation hardware. Most specifically, the hardware that's going to hold them to your car. You see how important this is? See, if you don't choose the right lug nut or lug bolt, and the wheels don't stay on your car, that's kind of a problem, right? Would you agree that like watching your wheel float down the road in the opposite direction is kind of not where you're looking to go with your day?
Bruh. Oh no.
So make sure you're getting the right lug nut. Most OE wheels are going to come with a ball seat lug nut. It means that the seat of the lug nut is rounded. And most aftermarket wheels are going to use a conical seat lug nut, usually a 60-degree taper seat, but a very flat 45-degree, 60-degree type of lug nut. And that's the right lug nut. If you use the opposite lug nut with the different seat of your wheel, it will eventually rattle and come off your vehicle, and it will do damage to the wheel. So one of the last points that we need to talk about mistakes people often make when they buy wheels is that they don't get hub-centric rings. Now, we've spoken about this in plenty of videos. There's not going to be any doubts that we've explained to you the importance of a hub-centric ring and that they're not necessarily a structural safety item. Hub rings are cheap. They're easy. You can get them at store.konigwheels.com. And in addition to that, all you have to do is put those rings into the back of your wheel and it will make it hub-centric. It will make it so that that wheel is perfectly centric to the hub every time you bolt it on. It will eliminate vibration. A lot of times when you see people have problems with the wheel installation afterwards, it comes from vibration, a vibration that they can't get rid of. That is often the absence of having a hub ring. So with that said, look, they're cheap, they're easy. You put them in the back of the wheel, they stay there, they mount as a dowel pin. This way you know the wheel is perfectly aligned and you don't have to think about it. So anyhow, once again, we're just here trying to save you from mistakes that you may make. We're trying to make sure that you are an informed wheel buyer. And this way, you don't have any issues. Listen, who wants issues when you're doing something so exciting like upgrading your wheels, right? I agree. Anyhow, thanks for hanging out with us, and we will catch you on the next one.